welcome to another video from 787B. Today we'll be talking about the 2020 Formula One Pirelli Gran Premio della Toscana Ferrari 1000, aka the 2020 F1 Tuscan Grand Prix, held at Autodromo Mugello Nazionale. We'll go over the results first, as usual, and also something that's very usual. Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas taking a Mercedes 1-2. But in third place, it's not Max Verstappen. It's actually his teammate, Alex Albon, for Red Bull Racing. Albon taking his first ever career podium first ever podium in his F1 career. So, well done to him. I would like to talk about Mugello because Mugello is a brand new track to Formula One. That has never hosted a Formula One race before, although it has hosted numerous MotoGP rounds, and it also used to host F1 testing sessions in the past, but never before has it hosted a Formula One race. And I actually have driven Mugello, albeit virtually, in Forza Motorsport 4, and I'm not going to say that Forza Motorsport 4 is a true sim game, but from my experience there, it's quite a fun track. Although I believe Sector 2, especially at Arrabbiata 1 and 2, that I found that section of the track to be very difficult. But otherwise, the rest of the track, including the last sector with like those fast chicanes before the final hairpin down to the finish line, I found that to be very fun. So anyway, without further ado, here are our thoughts and reactions. First off, the race in general. That was one heck of a race. Accidents left, right, and center. We even had 2 red flags, which is kind of crazy, considering even more crazier than the red flag that we had at Monza. Just a bonkers race in general. One of the most bonkers races I have seen in my entire life watching F1. Albeit I am fairly new to F1, I will admit.
In this race, it is true. It was one of the craziest F1 races I've ever watched ever since I got into Formula One, and it was really odd to see more than like half of the racers to be out, just in not even halfway into the race, only into the 9th lap of the race. Almost 6 of the racers are out. The first one is an exception. That one, Max Verstappen had an issue with his car in the first lap and first turn of the racetrack. But the other ones, those were quite absurd, some of it, except for Stroll. Stroll, there was some error on the track.
No, he had a puncture. It wasn't the track's fault. He had a puncture.
Oh yeah, that's true. It was a puncture. I think it was one of his tires. He had a puncture, which caused him to spin out.
Yeah, I actually found it very crazy for an accident to happen on the first lap. Well, that's not really unusual. I mean, there have been a lot of first lap incidents, but then to have an accident right after the safety car has ended, literally a lap after that incident, that's definitely a talking point.
Yeah,
that is a massive talking point. Speaking about accidents, I would like to go over that start finish line straight accident.
Mm-hmm.
What's your take, Sachin?
That one, I would say it was Magnussen's fault, kind of, because he literally could have used his brakes. I don't know what made him think using brake and then accelerator repeatedly when they should be following the leader's role of what they're doing in the entire chain, right? So I don't get what these people were doing I don't think they were following what the leader's doing at the front, which caused the chain reaction to cause an accident, which essentially I would say was Magnussen's fault, and he nearly injured a few drivers. But luckily, they managed to walk away from the accident.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
Thankfully, those drivers who were involved in really massive accident, I will say, uh, escaped unscathed. But yeah, I believe it was Magnussen's fault. Although I believe it was his fault because he just didn't react long enough. I think he just basically fell asleep at the wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he didn't take off when the others I don't know what he was thinking, but from the onboard view of the cars that are involved in an accident, I don't think Magnussen reacted quick enough.
Mm.
It's still quite dangerous.
True. He nearly killed his own teammate. Nearly.
Yeah, Grosjean's radio
Was like, is he trying to kill us?
Yeah. Grosjean was absolutely fuming at that accident.
He has every right to be mad at him.
Yeah. Earlier you mentioned Verstappen.
Yeah, Verstappen.
I cannot believe that for the second time in a row, he's had he's had to retire from a race. I feel like Italy is a curse for Verstappen.
Yeah, I think it is.
In Monza, he had to retire. Now he and then at Mugello, like you said, he had an engine sensor issue at the very start of the race, and then to make things even worse, he got crashed out.
Yeah.
That crash, I will say, I don't think anyone was at fault there. And I think the stewards agree with me because they did no further investigation on it. I really think that was actually a typical racing accident. But
yeah, I would agree because the corner was narrow and all cars are trying to squeeze into a very tight turn just in the first lap. So you necessarily cannot blame someone for the accident.
Yeah.
Because the corner's tight, anything could happen.
Yeah, especially when you're the meat in a sandwich like that.
True.
Yeah, but still, I feel like I don't know what to say about Verstappen. I like Verstappen.
Yeah.
I'm a rep. Yeah, same with Sachin as well. I'm a Red Bull Racing guy, and I'm part of the Orange Army. But that race today, that's definitely going to affect his fight for the championship title in a bad way.
Yeah.
However, there is a silver lining out of this race. Sachin, would you mind talking about our Thai driver, Alex Albon?
I don't remember the name of the turn or what sector it was, but that was an amazing move that Alex made. Not amazing move. It was the easiest. I think it was
turn one.
Perez.
No, turn one on Ricciardo.
Yeah, I think Ricciardo just gave him a big giveaway, just for him to overtake him. So, which gave Alex Albon the advantage to take his first podium in his F1 career in today's race.
Although saying that, you do realize that Albon has tried to overtake people around the outside of the corner, and it hasn't worked out for him most of the time.
It never did.
Yeah, but this time he made it stick, and voila.
And he got his first podium in F1 career.
Yeah, the first ever Thai driver to stand on the podium in F1.
Yeah.
Anyway, overall, a very fun race, I will say. That was a very enjoyable race to watch. Even though both me and Sachin were in disbelief when Verstappen retired, but hey, there was a lot of action. We had 2 red flags because of that, and Albon got his first ever podium in F1. So that's going to be it for this video. Remember, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and also hit that notification bell in the case that we come out with more videos in the future. As always, 77B out. Sachin, would you mind talking about our Thai driver, Alex Albon?
What about Alex Albon?
Are you kidding? His first podium.
Oh, that I don't remember the name.